Okay, I'm at the front of the vehicle. Now this is what you want to look for. This is a McPherson strut. It's a shock absorber and a spring built into one. For packaging purposes at the factory, it's way easier than having a separate spring and a separate shock. This is the kind of stuff you look for. See here, you got all this oil in here. The boot's been torn up. This strut is totally blown out. It needs to be replaced. Something else you can always look at, you really can't see it sometimes, but if you see a little bit of oil on there, it could be that the shaft is bent or something else mechanical is going on. But the easiest way to check your strut is you turn the wheel all the way, stick your head in there and look at it. You can see it. And that's a telltale clue when you stick your head in there. If you see oil, the strut needs to be replaced, okay? Just go with it. That's an expense that you're going to have to look at if you buy the vehicle. Something else you want to check out, the tires up front. The tire wear pattern could be different than in the rear. This truck right here has a different tire on the rear than up front. This tire is newer. That tells me right there someone's been working on it. It's been aligned. Maybe the guy had a blowout. But these are questions that I'm asking myself looking at it that I need to have answered. And if I don't see it in here, just looking over the car, I'm going to ask that sales guy or the owner, hey, how come you got a new tire on here? What happened here? You're going to ask that question because there again, you're plopping down your hard-earned cash, okay? So this is important information that you need to know. Grab the tire, shake it. If it's moving and clunking, that means that something's no good in there. It could be a tie rod end. It could be a ball joint. If it has an upper and lower control arm, this car has a lower control arm because that's what the strut mounts to. It could be something along those lines, and you need to make sure that that stuff works because there again, you're plopping down your hard-earned cash. I'm driving this cash home thing. I'm driving it home because it's important. Because once you buy this car, it's yours and you're going to be spending money on it. The other things you're going to want to look at is up front again. That bead right out here. Is it tore up? Is the wheel, being that you've got a new tire, is the wheel new? Think about it. Car could have been in an accident. That's why you're looking at paint. Something else you want to look at that's really important, all your seams. All these seams where pieces meet together, the hood meets the fenders. If it goes like this, someone's been in it. If you open the door and it pops, and everyone's heard it, you open the door, it's a little tight, boom. That's the door relieving pressure on the fender because they were rubbing together and it pops out. It relieves itself. It's important. Does the door sag? When you open it up, does that door go like this and then swing out? That means the hinges are bad. It means they got to be replaced. Or you got to have bushings put in. This is the kind of stuff you want to look at when you're buying your car. Pop the hood. When you look in here, look and see if it's dirty. See how dirty that is? That means that someone doesn't go in here that often. If the engine's freshly cleaned, some guys keep them really clean, but a lot of guys don't. They may wash it once a month. So you got all this fresh dirt in here. What's this guy doing? Does he ever go in here? Does he ever check the oil? Next thing I would do is go over to the dipstick, pull out the dipstick. And it's a telltale sign. If the oil is black, it's probably not been changed. If the oil is low, it's been in there a while because it's either burning it or it's just burning it through regular cycles and you need oil. If the oil's fresh, and I mean spotless, you need to think about it. Did the guy maybe get an oil change because he's selling it? Or does he have records? That's important stuff because you should change your oil every 3,000 miles. With synthetic, it's a little bit more. Some guys go up to 4,000, and they're fine with conventional oil. Go around to the other side. Look at the master cylinder. If it's visible, if it's a model where you can see it mounted on the firewall, look at the brake fluid. See if it's low. See if it's high. The new plastic master cylinders actually have a sight glass that you can tell that information. Look at the radiator. See if there's any repairs in it. And you can see repairs. Because these new radiators, they're aluminum, they have plastic tanks. I've seen guys epoxy the plastic tanks because they don't want you to know that the radiator's been messed with or the tanks have been cracked. Then go to the inside. Once you go to the inside, look at the seats. Sit down. One of my favorites is you can always tell a guy that drives like this. The seat's going to be wore out on the inside. And I've actually seen it where the console is worn out. The plastic is smooth. It doesn't have any texture anymore because he rides like this. He's profiling through the neighborhood. Look at the odometer. If you're not sure about the mileage, look at the brake pedal. The brake pedal is going to tell you Because over time, one side wears. Most people just use that inside corner of the brake pedal, because this is what they're doing right here. They're not using the whole pedal. So look at that rubber on it, see if it's there. If the rubber's not gone, the paint will be worn off. That's going to give you an indication of the kind of mileage the vehicle has. Then start it. When you start it, look in the rearview mirror, see if there's a puff of blue smoke. If it's a puff of blue smoke, it could be valve guides, it could be rings, it could be a number of things that are internal. You're looking at possibly doing an engine. That's the kind of information you need to look at when you're buying this car. Then take it for a spin. See what it does. Do a panic stop. You're cruising down the road at like 60, the guy's in there with you, go, hey man, hold on a second. Stab the brakes. Even with anti-lock brakes, the car is going to dive. If it starts to dart from side to side, you got alignment issues. You might have to replace something. Always look at that stuff. It's important when you buy a car, you're spending your hard-earned money, make sure you get what you want. Till next time, I'm out.